Hello and welcome to a Honest Tool Reviews. I want to do a breakdown that I don't think many people have done, probably because a lot of people don't have them. Um, Overlook me, this stuff is a mess. I'm a mess. This is one of my days off, and I have to do as many things on my days off as I can do because I work long hours the days that I do work. It just doesn't work out right to try to accomplish extra. Alright, so this particular video on this particular day and time is going to be a tool use video that stems a little bit more towards the younger generation. There's nothing against the older folks, but there's an argument out there that some of you older folks may not know about. The argument is Android or Apple. Now, there's not very many people who are eligible to make the arguments one way or the other. A lot of people are Apple fanboys and they will shout Apple from the roof. But are they really right to do so? Well, there's plenty of people that say Android, and they might even shout from the roof, but they tend to not be that hardcore about it. They don't care what you do to mess up your life, they're enjoying theirs. So let's get into this. Okay. For the sake of arguments, I have an iPad 9th gen, which is now obsolete. And it was brand new when I bought it. And I have for the sake of being as accurate as I can, I do have to go into the settings and pull up what this one is because I don't remember exactly what they call it. They call everything different names and you can buy different ones all at the same time, which, for the sake of customization, getting exactly what you want is great. But if I'm trying to describe to somebody like this what I have, I don't know. So I should know, and normally I would know, but at this exact moment I don't. So let's go to About Tablet. The Galaxy Tablet S6 Lite, which I purchased um, relatively the same time as when I purchased the 9th gen tablet from Apple. I got this one from T-Mobile with a data service card and made payments on it because of how expensive it was. It was good for my credit. This one, on the other hand, I was looking for something. At the time that I bought it, I was moving into that really crappy, terrible, ugly trailer that so many people saw in a lot of my videos. And I wanted something to watch TV on because I didn't have a TV when I first moved in. I will go ahead and openly admit to everyone, the entire world over, that there was a girl who was talking to me, and I had told her that I didn't have a TV. And then I went out, I bought a TV and a TV stand, and I built a TV stand, I put the TV on it, and I got it all set up to have TV and DVD player and stuff so that we could watch movies because the girl would she didn't really want to go on a date. She'd like to get to know me, sit down and watch movies, and we had known each other before in the past. So it was really just a question of, getting comfortable around each other. And it had been said that if I had a TV, we could probably sit down, have a nice home cooked meal, and watch TV. And because she didn't actually have a place to, sit down and get to know me. And so I went ahead and did all this and no longer needed the tablet. Now, long story short, because of the way women are, she immediately, like within the next day of that conversation, was showing off pictures of a brand new car, but not talking to me. I confronted her about it, and oh, my mom's been in the hospital. Your mom's been in the hospital, but you're showing off brand new cars all over Facebook? Were you at the dealership or were you at the hospital? Make up your mind. I had to let that one go. That being said, the Android's updating. That being said, I didn't need the Android for TV anymore after I had already purchased it. I do use it for television. There's times I just want to sit in bed and not be in the living room. There are times I'm sitting at the table, the kitchen table, and I want to watch TV. And I mean, I can use the Apple tablet that way, but I find that what I'm doing is that if I'm using YouTube, it's on the Android. If I'm using um, a how-to video to help me get through something that I can't quite figure out, it's on the Android. If I'm drawing, it's on the Android. The Android comes with a pen, and you can draw with the pen, and it's super accurate. And I have some really good art that I've hand drawn in there. Um, this is a video comparing the two, so I will go grab the pen. I seem to have left it in the living room. Come on, Baymax. Got to include Baymax. Yeah, good buddy. Good boy. So it did come with a pen, and I have cases on both of these that they both take a shoulder strap. They both have a shoulder strap. I do not have the shoulder strap on this one. Okay. And I believe they both came from the same manufacturer. I don't know that to be true, but I bought them both on Amazon. They look extremely similar. Okay. Now, I've used Android slightly more, but amazingly, this screen protector is cracked. I think you can, yeah, you can see it if I hold it just right. The screen protector is cracked. Right on down there. And the little leg broken. Now, like I said, these are third party, so I can't say Apple did that, but it's amazing that, you know, I worked with this one doing mechanic work and stuff outside in the sun, and nothing has happened to this one. This one I don't even take to the beach because it's such an expensive device, but I have used it in the house and found a way to break it. I just I think money attracts misfortune, and that's where I'm getting at with this, because this one has been cradled like a baby, and it still finds a way to mess up. And while we're saying cradled like a baby, yes, I have my son's tombstone as the background for this one, and it's no one's business but mine. Just overlook that. I have a number of apps on here. Spotify, a tip calculator, and Subway app. You know, I have T-Mobile, Apple TV because it came with the tablet because it was serviced with T-Mobile, and they have like maybe 20 shows on Apple TV, and it's just not worth it. And like half of them are pushing a liberal agenda. So you can't even watch the TV on there to relax. You have to watch it to agree with their agenda. Anyway, I have like Crunchyroll and High Dive and Prime Video and Roku remote for the TV in there. If I can't find the two remotes we already have, I do have the remote. I have never connected it to the Wi-Fi, so since I moved, I haven't needed it. But it does pull up the remote. You can find your devices and all of that. But I haven't been using it with Wi-Fi because I have the data, so I can pull up stuff without, you know, using any data at all from the Wi-Fi and slowing the Wi-Fi down. I have this one, and if you're curious as to what I actually use this thing for on a daily basis now, after having it for several years now, it typically sits in the corner somewhere. I either move it to the living room or move it to the kitchen once a week or so, and it'll often be in here. And I'll just be, you know, playing a game with my laptop, and I'll just go, "Hey Siri, what's the weather like in Lucama, North Carolina?"
It's currently clear and 82 degrees. Expect thunderstorms starting in the afternoon. Temperatures are heading down from 83 to 63 degrees tonight.
I better get in the hot tub while I get a chance. Huh, maybe I should cut this video short. No, I love you guys. I'm gonna do this video anyway. Hey Siri. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Siri.
Sure thing.
Okay. Android is still updating, and at first you would think that that's comedy. I'm not being funny. I haven't touched this in probably a week, and they came out with an update, so it's updating. So I can't entirely show you all of the stuff right this minute, and I'd love to, but I can't. And so I picked a bad time to hit that update button. But that right there is how I typically use the Apple throughout the day. I may say, "Hey Siri,
Mm-hmm.
anything big in the news today?"
I don't see an app for that. You'll need to download one.
Okay. Well, I typically say something similar like that. Hey Siri, any
Mm-hmm.
any news?
I don't see an app for that. You'll need to download one.
It must have recently got an update within the last couple hours as well. Usually I say something like, "What's on the news?" and it'll show me a link of like ABC, CNN, and the other ones, and I can pick on one. Um, I guess since they all have apps now, maybe that's what it's doing. But I'll say that. I'll ask about the weather at least once a day. And hey Siri,
Mm-hmm.
how are my YouTube videos doing?
Okay. I found this on the web for how are my YouTube videos doing. Check it out.
How to get more views, how the algorithm works, how the videos begin start to finish. I'll get a random question, I'll ask it, and then I'll dive into a hole with it. But the other one may be charged, may not be charged, because it's always moving with me. For a while there, I was taking it to work at a company I used to be employed at. That done me wrong because I'm deaf in my right ear. Um, that may or may not manufacture fiber materials for certain conditioning of air qualities. And there's multiple companies, so don't just jump and run with anything, whether or not they're named after a Simpsons character. But legitimately, I had actually taken this one to work with me. And I know this makes me look horrible, but in the time where there's nothing to mechanically work on, I would quite often play Android games or read something in my Google library with my tablet. And because it looked so much like a professional tablet, and we used Android tablets there at work, about this size with this kind of gripping protective case, that no one was much the wiser. And yeah, that sounds pretty terrible on me. But I'm being honest, and I'm not employed there anymore, and they treated me like utter shit. So just being honest with my fans, people that care to watch and listen, and hear a few nasty truths every once in a while. Yeah, instead of sweeping or something that's beneath maintenance, I would genuinely be doing much more productive things. And there's apps on here if it will ever load. I'm sure people have had this problem in the past where things just they take forever to start up, so you hate to ever turn them off. Well, Apple did fix that because they never actually cut off. You cut it off and plug it in, and it's technically on again. And it's always listening. Isn't that right, Siri? Could make me look like a liar. Yeah, I mean, there's people hate it sometimes when TV shows say Siri
Mm-hmm.
because it's actually always listening.
I can't help with that. But you can change it in settings.
Hey Baymax, Which one do you like better? Which one do you like better, huh? Oh, shake. Good boy. I'm gonna have to take you for a walk and dip in that jacuzzi before the weather gets bad. So the Android actually better turn on very quickly. Here. What? Hop up. Hop up. Say hi to the viewers. Say hi to the viewers. Come on. Hop up. Say hi. Say hi. This is Baymax. One UI. Optimizing apps. This is a new one to me. This is totally new. Yeah, eat your bone, buddy. It's your bone. I don't know what this is, and I can't explain it. One UI. I've never seen that before, and it was never part of the loading process till now. So I don't know what's going on here. This may look like one big win for Apple people, but legitimately, I don't understand. Now, I could have given these fair footing and like made sure they were both updated, made sure they were both charged, and just showed them both off. But I'm showing them both off in their natural environment. And I don't usually have any problems with the Android, but also in the same sentence, though, I never really use Apple. I may pull up YouTube if I'm too far away from the house to get Wi Fi, but it would be, not that long of a video, just something real quick. Usually, when I'm working on my vehicle, I'm in my property zone, you know. And the Apple usually doesn't leave the house much anymore. If my phone is dying and it hasn't been charged appropriately, I'll grab the Apple and take it with me to use the data to communicate to people with like web-based social medias instead of a phone number, because when they gave it to me, it has a phone number and the phone number doesn't work with it. Why? T-Mobile doesn't know. Why? Apple doesn't know. But Apple wants me to set up a different phone number. Okay, well, I did, and it doesn't work either. So yes, I have to use social media, even though my Apple iPad has two phone numbers. So between the two, yeah, they advertise that these things do a lot of extra special shit. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's just really expensive, and I'm afraid to break it, and it's been broke at home. So you might argue that, oh, look, the Android didn't even start up in 20 minutes, but in all fairness, it works. I don't usually turn it off, but the last time it was turned off because the battery had died. And the battery had died because I wasn't taking too much good care of it. So I'm not going to show y'all my password. I don't really need to do that. Okay. Now it says tablet is starting. Okay. And it's on. Tablet is on. I don't usually use the pen a lot, but I have the pen and I can bring up some of the art that I have drawn to show that I've used this one quite a bit. Let's see here. Not that one. I have a couple of different apps, but no, it's not that one either. Look, they all look the same. They have the same image. Let's see. Just bring up something that I've been working on. Yes. Okay. So this is loaded. This is just a picture of my fiance. And this is a picture that's actually on her Facebook. And I guess you can't really see in the background back there, but it's actually just the door, which is the door of her car. And then like, she does have a nose. It's just barely not seeable. And I take some time to get the pins just right and work on that. Other things that I do with the Android is I actually have a connection called Super Display, and I can run this with the laptop to give me an extra screen for my laptop. I typically turn it sideways, and then I plug in the screen, and then I have two screens, and it works out really well for the Super Display because I could like play Minecraft while watching YouTube or whatever. Super Display is slightly older, as in 2 or 3 years old now, but it still works really well. It takes a one-time payment, and if you do purchase it and you had a very, very purposeful intent, you will find that it does work really well. I have other stuff on here. I said I deal with some mechanical stuff, and I have little apps like this that deal with trying to understand where certain things are. And you can download different machines and different things, but it allows you to see the inner workings of something. You can zoom in and pick apart. You can't really do much there. You can take the pieces off. Take the pieces off. And now I've removed a cylinder. You know, just to give you an idea of how something works. There's more models. There's tons of them. There's all kinds of different things to choose from. There's gearboxes. Should probably connect to the Wi-Fi to pull some things up. Let's see. We had to choose such a complex name for our Wi-Fi. Yes. Okay. And back. So I'll pick something and download it. As you can see, it's downloading now because I have internet. I can go through the list of things and how they work and download things and understand them better. Just it's kind of research based or learning, education. And I do little things like that with it. You might see that YouTube is on the bottom screen. I actively use YouTube a lot. I don't always fiddle with other stuff, but if there's an app or two that I want to try on my phone, I try it on the tablet first because the tablet isn't as critical. My phone has my phone number attached to it. It verifies my apps and all with the text messages. I don't want to get an app and it be a bad app, so I'll try it on the tablet first just to make sure that it's safe. And I haven't had any trouble with recovering the tablet if something was bad. But in the time it takes to recover something, if someone was giving me a phone call, I wouldn't get it. So I do kind of use the tablet as a safe testing format for any of my apps that go onto my phone. Quite often I play games like this where you use logic to try to figure out where to put the cogs to transfer the energy to the other side. And there are dumb little ads, but you'll take these little cogs and you'll put them in line and try to get all of the red ones to spin. Of course, I'm just moving them for the sake of explaining, but I highly suggest this kind of cognitive function stuff to keep your brain going, as well as I do use this tablet with my Oculus 2, the VR headset, to stream a couple videos and things into the Oculus. But sometimes I'll do other stuff like there's a car mechanic simulator. I do my Adobe Acrobat. Like if I get a speeding ticket or something, I have gotten one in the last year now. They want you to sign paperwork for your lawyers now. They just send you a PDF file, and it's like, how the hell do I sign this? Well, you have to download the file stuff, and it's easier to just do it with this than to try to print it off or use your phone where you can't see. So I have one, and I do it on the Android, not the Apple. Even though you might could assume that the Apple would be great. No, the pen for the Android that came with the Android is wonderful, and the Android handles that job just fine. And so I've been using the Android a lot more, and it may be a bias because my phone was Android, but I have truly enjoyed the Apple, and I have wonderfully, ecstatically enjoyed the tablet from Galaxy. Now there is the caveat that Apple doesn't like you pirating things. Apple doesn't like you illegally downloading things. Apple doesn't like you downloading things if you don't even have permission. I have run emulators on this. I've played PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I've played some GameCube games, some Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, and I've ran them pretty successfully. I don't think I have any on it at the moment because I cleared everything out. Poor baby, are you getting bored? Let's see. Yeah, that's a music player. Actually, yes, I do. I have the PSP player. That is legal, by the way. I have to express that it is legal. Let's see. Grand Theft Auto. It's loading. It's not that it's slow, it's that I had I had uninstalled Grand Theft Auto to make it a little more memory. I just have the zip file from where I zipped up the folder of information from where I stripped the PlayStation 2 game. And you have to strip your game, otherwise it's illegal. I actually have the CD copy, therefore it's legal. I use it, only for me playing, but no one just carries around their PlayStation 2 and a TV. So but where did it go? There it is. So this is something you can't do on Apple because they're going to want you to just buy a new game. There's no need to copy a game that you already have onto your computer, save it to a hard disk drive, and figure out how to process it and play it. No. Don't do all that. Just give us more money. That being said, Android is way more flexible. And if I take a picture, it doesn't get saved to a cloud with all of my other Android devices like the Apple does. So I would feel far more safe taking pictures for this or that than I would doing it for Apple. Even if it's just a photo of my daughter, I don't want people to always see a photo of my daughter. I get a little creepy about that. So I just tend to use the Android far more often. And unfortunately, the Apple, the way it works, I mean, it listens for me, but it doesn't even listen for anyone else in the house. So I I'm practically the only person that uses it, but on my request, it does tell me the weather every once in a while. Now, I could probably pull up directions to somewhere, and I can communicate with people on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube when necessary. But if you're going to go by how much I use it and how much I paid, the Galaxy S6 is still being used ridiculously well, ridiculously useful, and it gives me no trouble, and it doesn't have any problems. Now, it does receive updates, but so does the Apple. And if I just want to ask Siri what the weather's going to be like and it's trying to update, I go ahead and use the damn tablet here. I go ahead and use the Android. So, I mean, you can take whatever you want from it, but this tablet really does work really well. And somehow, I just can't enjoy the Apple. So why spend that kind of money? If you're going to ask the question, Apple or Android, this is the answer. Android. Anyway, have a great day out there. Stay safe.